Oh, okay. Is that a bit dark? Is that a bit dark? Do you know what I'm going to say that it is, actually? Everything is fine. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. No. No! No! It's just not what I want. It's just too dark. It's just too dark! Right, we're filming. I am at the point of no returns, my guys. I'm at the point of no return. I've been trying to film this video. Right, I tried to film podcast earlier. Podcast ended up taking 3 hours. Still got 2 videos that I've still not finished editing. Liv's quiz is in 40 minutes. And this video is supposed to be 40 minutes. I've not got my costume on. I've not gathered everything. It's like a zodiac quiz where we have to dress like our sign. So I'm going to put a suit on. Hence why this makeup is a bit OTT, I know. And then I wanted to put the fire on the TV because it's going up there in a bit, and I thought, why not just have one video with the fireplace? And I know that most of you probably won't like it, and I'll probably get loads of comments like, oh, it's really distracting. But look, I just wanted to do it for once. I've never done it in a video before, and I felt like this was a prime opportunity while the TV's just awkwardly perched here. It's not staying here, just for reference. And I've just not dressed as a Capricorn yet. I'm not dressed as a Capricorn, I'm just dressed as Eve. Well, Eve, I am an embodiment of a Capricorn. So I could just go as I am, because I think I would win the costume competition, because I think I am probably the most Capricorn in the history of Capricorns. Maybe a Shell Obama is slightly more Capricorn, I don't know. Anyway, lots of thoughts, lots of stuff. Welcome to what hopefully will be a little bit more relaxed evening in with Eve and gin. It is in fact the evening for once, and I do in fact have gin in this lovely white company glass that I got my mother for Christmas. I got her them for Christmas, but I also kind of low-key got them for myself. Today's gin of choice is a Bow Violet gin. If you've not tried it, would recommend. I've definitely put too much gin in, but look, I was in a rush. And I bought some ice from the supermarket, and I feel really bougie because I got to put loads of ice in, because normally I don't put too much ice in because we've only got the ice like trays. But today, my friends, we've got a big one with some tonic and a slice of lemon. Maybe this is why I was so late filming the video. I took about a year making my drink. But anyway, before we start this video, I just wanted to say that it is sponsored by The Great Courses Plus. I'm so excited to be working with them again. You guys know how much I love them, and I'm just so glad that they keep coming back because I love sharing this with you. So for those of you who don't know, The Great Courses Plus is an online, on-demand subscription video learning service where you can basically enjoy lectures on all sorts of topics from professors all over the world. You can stream them on your TV, your tablet, your phone, your web browser. So it's basically just a really accessible and enjoyable way to learn new things. And I know that you guys all like learning new things because that's why you followed me in the first place, surely. I'm currently doing a course on understanding the US government because, I mean, I think it goes without saying that that's been at the forefront of the news recently, and I'm thinking about going into like covering American politics with my job perhaps. So it's really helped accompany like all of the books that I'm reading on it at the moment, and it's such a lovely way to learn because there's no deadlines, there's no homework, like you can just do it at your own pace when you want to do it. No pressure, but it's also super informative. There are over 11,000 video lectures from Ivy League professors and professors from other great universities and institutes like the Culinary Institute of America, National Geographic. There's stuff on art, history, literature, self-improvement, media, crafts, like literally, you think about it, it'll be on there. You think about it, you name it. It's you name it. Come on, Eve. So if you type in the link either on screen, greatcoursesplus.com/Eve, or I'll put it in the description for you to click. You can sign up for your free trial of the Great Courses Plus today. I literally cannot recommend them enough. If you are keen to learn, you are keen to further that knowledge outside of your degree, outside of your A-levels, now that exams are cancelled, like honestly, this is your sign. Self-improvement this year, people. Self-improvement, self-growth, and there's just so many options to learn. Thank you so much to The Great Courses Plus for sponsoring this video. As I said, everything you need will be in the description down below. I'm back to answer some of your questions. I thought that it would be really nice to do one of these because during lockdown there's not really a fat lot else to do, is there really? And I'm on a bit of a YouTube roll this month. I've realised this is probably the last month where I'm going to have as much time as I want to just make content. So expect 2 videos a week from me basically, hopefully, for the whole month, which is super, super exciting. But anyway, that was the longest, craziest introduction ever. I'm feeling a bit scatterbrained today, so let's bring it back to centre. Right, so that wasn't bringing it... Guys, my brain is just not there. It just really said not today, honey. Anyway, so I asked you guys on my Instagram, which will be on the screen at some point during this video. I got some new lovely like subscribe, follow animations made by the wonderful Jenny. If you guys are looking for some motion graphics, then I would really recommend. And I'm going to answer these questions today. I've screenshotted them as per usual, and I suppose let's just get going because time really is of the essence today. But I've told Liv I'm going to be late, so I'm here for you guys first and foremost. As much as I love Liv, the gin chats come first. Okay, the first question is, what are you planning to do for your birthday since we're in lockdown? Yeah, so my 21st birthday is on Monday when you're watching this, so it's on the 11th of January. The original plan was to fly to New York. I was supposed to be flying on my birthday and we were supposed to be spending the week there, going to see Billy Joel at Madison Square Garden, which will eventually happen. It's just been postponed, but I have kind of mourned that loss now. And I initially thought that I'd be able to go out for a meal or something on my birthday, but obviously we're in like a full-scale lockdown now. Absolutely bought it on myself by laughing low-key at everybody last year because I was like, haha, I had my birthday in January, I still had night out, and now it's just come back to bite me on the bum. I really think ultimately the August babies, the July and August babies really did not know how lucky they had it this year. Even September, October, I'm not being funny. Like, you really have just slithered your way out of that one. But it's okay because I'm going to vlog my birthday. So I'm going to vlog my whole birthday weekend. Obviously, like, we can't go anywhere really, but my mom, honestly, bless her, has been literally locking me out of the downstairs of the house every day this week to work on something, and she won't tell me what it is. And I think it will be a lovely day no matter what happens, to be honest. And I'm doing a quiz with the girls on Saturday night. We're doing like, not a quiz, no, we're not doing a quiz. We're doing I've like organised a bar crawl, so I've done 4 different playlists. Each one is like a different theme. So it's like an 80s one, there's like a house music one, there's like a classics one, and at each one we're going to play different drinking games. So even though we can't be together, I think that'll be really fun. And on the Sunday, my mom has got the whole family to come on Zoom, and we've ordered one of those webcams for the TV to make like a quiz, like a family quiz. Apparently it's centres around me. I've not had any say in this whatsoever, but it'll be really nice to see all of my family, even if it's through Zoom. And then on my actual birthday, I think we're going to go for a nice long walk around our local like hills and get a McDonald's breakfast. But I'm not going to say too much actually else because I'm going to vlog that weekend. So if you would like to see a vlog of my birthday weekend, then do give this a thumbs up, and I definitely will vlog it because I'd love to look back on this and think, oh wow, like even though the circumstances weren't ideal, we definitely made the most of it, you know? I'm really worried that this fire is going to be distracting people. I hope you guys don't mind, but I actually kind of like it. I feel like it's giving me peaceful vibes. But that's also not giving me peaceful vibes. But also we're in the middle of winter, so natural light is a thing of the past, honeys. The first thing my mom did when she picked up one of these glasses was this, and she was like, I love. And now I'm a bit like, I know it's not very like ladylike, but also the glass is actually quite inconvenient, but it is just pretty. So I love the sound of ice jiggling in a gin glass. Oh, it's so satisfying. I literally love it. The next one is any reassurance about exams being cancelled. Guys, I am so sorry for you. Like, I'm so happy for you, but I'm also so sorry for you. I'm happy for you in the respect that if they'd have tried to like drag this on and cancelled them at the last minute, it would have been so much worse. And I'm happy that you've got at least a degree of certainty. And I'm also happy for you in the sense that it would be so unfair to expect you to sit like AQA, EdXL exams, because all the schools up and down the country are going to be like different levels with their remote learning. Like my sister's school and my old school, for example, is very good. So I think she's kind of a bit gutted that she can't sit her exams in a way, because I think she felt like she would have got all of the same teaching. But at the same time, I'm glad that there's kind of just like a blanket cancellation, and I hope that the system that they come up for you guys this year is better than the algorithm that just ruined so many people's summers and potentially a whole year of their lives or more. It really infuriates me. But I would say keep working, keep learning, because the stuff that you're doing at GCSE, for example, will be relevant at A-level, and the stuff that you're doing at A-level will be relevant at university. But obviously, you know, we are in a global pandemic still. Really? Shock. No one's mentioned that recently. And just be kind to yourself, you know, like just do what you feel like you can do. Remote learning is really good for some people, for some people, and it's really, really hard for other people. So I think that we just have to like tune into ourselves and what we find okay, and just make the best of the situation to the extent that you can. I would do some videos about how to thrive on remote learning, but I really don't like it myself, and I'm not really doing too much remote learning at the moment because obviously I'm not at university this year, and I'm so grateful that I'm not. So my heart goes out to all of you who are doing that, and my number one piece of advice would be just keep learning as much as you can. Number one, just to give you some routine to your day. Number two, just because actually it might be nice now to be able to learn some things without the pressure of having to just whip it out like memory wise in the exam. I sometimes feel like my exams were ruined by the fact that I really liked the content, but I just didn't feel like I was learning it because I was interested. I felt like I was learning it for AQA, if that makes sense. So I would definitely still keep learning, and I personally, but don't put too much pressure on yourself. Like it's a sweet spot to be found, and I am sure that you will. Who has just transferred me €4? I mean, I'm not gonna complain, but I'm a bit confused. The next one is, what are your plans for Spain? I've had a few DMs about this. Most people are super supportive. Other people have been a little bit nasty, and I understand we're in the middle of a global pandemic. Tensions are high. The situation is absolutely dire at the moment. Like, no one is making any secret of that. It's really just not a good time to be anyone. It's not a good time to be a uni student. It's not a good time. It's just not a good time. Full stop. And I've had a lot of people being like, why are you applying for a visa to go to Spain? Like, this isn't essential travel, etc, etc. But I thought I would clear it up in this video, and once I kind of mention it here, I'm not really going to go on trying to justify it or anything. This is what I've been told is okay to do by the government and the university and like multiple other people. I'm not just going on holiday, you know. So basically, for those of you who don't know, I studied German and Spanish at university, and I've been studying languages since I was like 7, and the whole point of my degree, the reason why I chose my degree, the reason why most people choose a languages degree is because you spend your 3rd year in a foreign country. I went to Berlin in August when the situation was really fine to travel, like there was a travel corridor, like it was absolutely safe. You know, people were going on holidays and things. I'm not going to go into like whether people thought it was okay for people to go on holidays in August, because that's just going to start a whole debate in itself. But I had, I could get insurance, which a lot of people couldn't, because the year abroad for language students is classed as essential travel. I know most other year abroads that were just kind of year abroads, like in other subjects, were cancelled, and that's because I don't think a lot of universities could say that it was essential travel. Whereas obviously for a language degree, when we sign our student agreement, I don't know what other universities are like, I'm just speaking about Oxford right now. When we signed our student agreement in the 1st year, we are contractually obligated to spend a set period, I cannot remember how many months it is, abroad in our 3rd year. And if we don't do third, if we don't do that, we like literally cannot, like they will not let us do our 4th year, and we have to prove that we've done it essentially, because obviously it is such a vital part of the degree. Like, it's honestly like one of the, if not the most important part of your degree, because that is what you're learning to do. You're learning to like immerse yourself in the language and the culture. Like, you're paying £9,000 a year to learn a language, and that is really just not something you can do. Online language classes, of course, but it is really something that's very difficult to do remotely. So Oxford told all of their students to come home immediately in March last year, obviously because the situation was so uncertain back then. We had no knowledge about any of it really, like everyone was really in the dark. And so Oxford were like, for your safety and because they might close the borders, you need to come home, and you need to come home now. A lot of the people who did go home last year's year abroad did end up going out for like a couple of months in the summer, I think, because it's just so important, like as part of your degree. And in the summer obviously it was safe to do so. well, like whatever you guys judge as safe, like that's just not a discussion we're having. The university sent everybody an email and said, if you would like to go out for the summer months, we will give you the insurance, we will give you the documentation, because we deem it to be essential travel. In fact, they were encouraging students to go out in the summer, and so my tutors were like, go out in August, go out as soon as you can and get as much physical time in Berlin as you possibly can, because I think we had an inkling that things were going to go, like the cases were going to rise over the winter. And so I was like, I'm going to go out in the summer. I think when I arrived in Berlin there were 89 cases in the whole of Berlin or something stupid like that. Like there were really none at all. And obviously because you're going for like a long period of time, it's not like you're just going on holiday and then bringing back a virus. Like you are going and you're staying, if that makes sense. So obviously that was why the university and the government were like, year abroad for languages degrees counts as essential travel. I know some other universities have been a bit stricter about it, but that's what Oxford were like. Anyway, and so nobody could predict that there would be a new strain of the virus. Nobody woke up and thought, yeah, God, so like there'll be a new strain in the winter. I think obviously that has changed the situation quite significantly. So when I flew home, I quarantined for 10 days and everything like that. Like all of my friends, we had a bit of a nightmare getting home, but like that is the price you pay for traveling in a pandemic. Like it was inconvenient, yeah, but like again, there are really, really like way worse things to be going on. You know what I mean? I'm just grateful that I even got to go for 4.5 months. Obviously one of those months was basically in quarantine because I had COVID, but that was a risk that I took upon myself. Traveling, I had to fill out a whole, like, oh my god, it was like a 15 bloody page risk assessment from the university to be able to get the insurance. It was so long. Anyway, so I'm getting a bit sidetracked now. Anyway, so then Brexit happened. That's obviously complicated matters further. So the situation that you now have is that if you want to go abroad for a long period of time, you need to get a visa. And also a lot of countries have closed their borders to England because of this new strain of the virus. And so now the university emailed us a couple of weeks ago. They said, look, we know that this situation is absolutely awful, but we still would encourage you that when it is safe to do so, to go back out, because you're staying for a long period of time, you're living there, you're working there. Like a lot of the things that, like for example, my internship cannot be done remotely. I would understand people's reservations about somebody traveling to do something remotely, like at this point. Like I completely understand the reservations for that, like just moving to another country, like just, you know, when there's no like reason for you to be there other than the fact that you want to move. But the university and the government have given us documentation saying that it's essential travel because it's a languages degree and we're moving for a long period of time. The university have been like, don't go zipping back and forth, that's just not responsible, that's not safe. But if you're moving there, you're quarantining or testing when you're getting there, and you're staying and you've got a long stay visa, that's like the same as moving house essentially, if that makes sense. Like you are literally moving your life. Anyway, so the reason I've started applying for a visa now in January is because it takes a long time. Obviously before Brexit you could just hop over to Spain and like you could live and work there and there was just not really a problem. Obviously now I need to literally get like my life story together. Don't even get me started on Brexit, that's for another situation. Just to get a visa to stay for 6 months, and then I have 90 days on top of that of like tourist travel. So for me to get the visa it's going to take like the whole of January. Obviously I don't know when the borders are going to open. I know a lot of year abroad students who have gone back. Some people have been quite like, you know, they've gone via like Slovakia and like by land and stuff like that. I've not done that because I personally want to wait until the situation becomes clearer, until everything's a little bit more safe, until I feel safer, like all of those sorts of things. But ultimately I have a pro forma, I have government documentation saying that I am allowed to go. I'm not just going because I want to go on holiday. Like it's a compulsory part of my year abroad degree. It's something that realistically cannot be done remotely to nearly the same standard. And my university have said it's essential. Anyway, so that's basically the situation. I feel like that was a really long way of saying a really short thing. If you disagree, okay. Like I'm sure people will disagree. People disagree with everything I do, everything I say, every breath I make, every move I say. Well, you know that song by The Police. So if you disagree, then okay, but that's the situation, and I hope that that is basically the situation. Oh yeah, I forgot to say what I was doing in Spain. I am helping at a language school, which is why I need to be there, because like they don't do remote classes and the policy in Spain is very different to the policy in here. and so they are not doing remote at the moment because of the nature of their classes. Like, they're very socially distanced and stuff like that, but they're not online, at least not most of them anyway, and because I need to access their systems and things like that, they can't do that remotely. But obviously this all depends on whether the border's open, all of this, everything could change. And so at the moment I'm just trying to get the visa, so when I can go to Spain, whether that's February, whether that's March, I can go, you know? Yeah, okay, that was 5 minutes long. Let me move on because that was really, really long. The next one is your thoughts on the situation in America. I have thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts, and I was going to actually talk about this in this video, but I've just realised that today I spent 2 hours filming the Meridian podcast with Ollie. If you guys don't know, I have a website called The Meridian. It's a magazine for young writers. If you like writing and stuff, then be sure to pitch to us if you want to write about something political. I'll put the link to it down in the description. But we also have a podcast, and so we've just filmed like an hour and 20 minutes worth of my thoughts. Well, not my thoughts specifically, but like our thoughts collectively on the America situation. Obviously it goes without saying, it's disgusting, it's distressing, it's absolutely just horrific scenes, you know? But if you want to know like my detailed opinion on that, then go and watch the new podcast, well, listen to the new podcast episode. I finally got a new microphone. It's not working as well as I wanted to because Anchor as a podcast system is just not great, but that's my thoughts. Basically, in a nutshell, if you don't want to go and watch that, I'm quite frankly disgusted, but if you want my more detailed opinion, then go and listen to the podcast. The next one is a random advice question. I love these videos because I feel like I just put like so much random stuff in them. Is it sus for the boy you're talking to be following 7,000 people on Insta? Now look, I'm not really one. I'm definitely in the team of people that doesn't get bothered when boys like Instagram photos or like stalks their activity on anything. Like, I'm not the sort of type. Maybe I would be, but I've never been in the past. And I think normally I'd be like, yeah, no, like it's let him follow who he wants, but 7,000 people, I think it depends on his ratio. If he's the sort of person that follows everybody back, that follows him, then I would say it's probably a different situation. If he's just following loads and loads of people, then I hate to break it to you, sis, but that is a little bit sus, in my hot opinion. In my hot opinion? My hot take. In my opinion and hot take are two very separate phrases, which I've just conflated, and it just didn't work. The next one is Bridgerton. P.S. So excited for this video. I'm glad you're excited for this video. I feel like I've just spent way too long talking about Spain, so I'm glad that we're getting on to some more like interesting topics rather than my visa applications. Bridgerton, oh my god, me and my mom and my sister watched it in like 2 days straight. My mom has watched it twice through. I wouldn't say it's the best show I've ever watched in the world, but I would say it's just lovely watching, isn't it? If anything, just for the Duke. Guys, I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I'm not the sort of person to be attracted to like characters and like stuff in shows, but my gods, I just want a Simon Bassett. That's what I want. Maybe with less of the toxic stuff, but Jesus, he is an absolute dish. Also, I love Nicola, who was in Derry Girls. She was Penelope in Bridgerton, and I love her, so I was really excited that she managed. I just loved the whole thing. I thought the costumes were lovely. I just thought the whole premise was lovely, and can I just say that I knew who Lady Whistledown was the whole way through, and nobody believed me, and then at the end it was revealed that it was in fact them, and I can't wait for season 2, to be honest, because it's just very indulgent. It's like have a gin and tonic and watch that, you know, in the evenings by the fire. Basically this setup, but without the studio light. God, the Duke, man. Oh my god. The next one is how to have healthy relationships with friends as you grow older. This is one that me and Liv were actually talking about the other day, because I think that, hold on, this is really annoying me, the amount it's jiggling. Let me just drink some of it. Because I think that it's a really difficult one actually, because obviously when you grow older, you do obviously lose a lot of your friends. Well, I did personally, like not lose as in like fell out, but your paths start to, especially after 18, your paths really start to go in different ways. So there are people who go to university, there are people who don't go to university and go into full-time work, people do degree apprenticeships, some people want to start a family straight away, some people just don't know, and I do think that that can definitely open up divides in friendships. I know that one of the biggest problems that people have is people who go to uni and people who don't. I feel like sometimes that can sort of like split people's worldviews a little bit. Not necessarily that one has got a better worldview than the other, it's just that obviously people go off to uni and make new friends, people might make new friends at work, like they might have a different idea on what's important like earlier in life, if that makes sense. And I've definitely noticed that that has been a problem, like for some of my friends, and like even like I've noticed it with some of my friendships, that you feel like you're just, the communication's just no longer there, like the words are just not hitting the same as they used to, or like you feel like that, like, do you know what I mean? Like there's just something that's like missing the mark. And I think that honestly that's a natural part of life, that you kind of grow and drift away from people. Like you outgrow friendships just as you outgrow relationships, you outgrow everything really. Like you can outgrow like so many different things, and I think that's a normal, natural part of life. There are only like 2 or 3 people from school that I still talk to, because we do not need to talk every day for us to be friends. Like we have every single like break, university break, when we come back, we don't talk barely at all when we're at uni. We'll like react to each other's stories and stuff occasionally, but then in every single like vacation, obviously since Rona's hit, we've been doing it on Zoom, but we always meet up in Birmingham and we go for a meal, and literally it's like no time has passed, there's no awkwardness, there's nothing. Where there are some people that we don't talk anymore, and then when I do see them it is just a bit awkward, and I'm a bit like, I feel like we're not on the same wavelength anymore in life, and you know, you do feel a bit out of place. So I do think the best way to maintain a healthy relationship is to just be honest with yourself about which friends are still on your wavelength and which are not. I'm not saying that you like just cut them out and you're like, get out of my life just because you don't think the same thing as me. I'm just saying that like, the first step is to acknowledge that it's natural to like shift and change and grow as a person, and obviously if you're growing in different directions, that might, you know, bring a sort of end to the friendship, but you'll grow and you'll make new friends. And so I think it's just being in tune with the communication and how that's working out. So that's why I always say that I like feel like me and Liv get on really, really well, because Liv is not at university, she's in full-time work. I'm obviously at university, and sometimes we do definitely like come from different angles on things, as in like, you know, me coming in my uni bubble, you know, can sometimes change the dynamic in our friendship compared to what it was when we were all at school. But I feel like me and Liv are just very honest communicators, like we're just very, and Liv's definitely just someone that's on my wavelength, if that makes sense, and I just know that she's a solid, and she's, I think you get a feeling in your head when you know that you can visualise someone like at your wedding, and I think that's a really good way to know if, this is really rambly, sorry guys, that's a really good way to know if you think that they're a friend for life. Like I always try and picture people at my wedding, and if I couldn't picture them at my wedding, then I'm a bit like, okay, so maybe this friendship is not the same as it used to be. I'm not trying to say I'm not going to invite them to the wedding, but it's just a really good way of envisioning. It's like, you know, I can see like, you know, like Molly and Liv and Lizzie and Nu and Lydia, and you know, like, you know, I'm not going to list every single person I can see at my wedding because it's going to get really long, but you know, I think that's a really good way to see if they're in it for the long term. I don't really think that answered your question, but that was my thoughts on friendships as you grow older. It's a strange time, it really is a strange time. There are so many people getting pregnant, getting engaged, getting married, and I'm here like getting what? Getting tired. That's what I'm doing. The next one is, I'm starting Hillary term at Oxford online. Any tips from your online Trinity term? So if you don't go to Oxford, or like you've just not heard of it, it's really stupid and weird, but basically our terms, like we have Michaelmas, Hillary and Trinity, so like term 1, term 2, term 3. So obviously a lot of students are going to be having their next term online, and can I just say, I literally want to give you all individually the biggest hug, and I count my lucky stars every day that I am out of university this year. Obviously this pandemic has just shat all over my year abroad experience, but I literally, like, I'm so grateful that it has, in a way, and not over my final year of university. So many of my friends are struggling so much, and I just wish that I could, like, I'm struggling in my own way this year for different reasons, obviously. But, and I know it's not about who's had it worse, because I feel like that's such a toxic, I really hate that when people DM me and they're like, but other people have got it worse. I just hate that narrative. I really don't like that way of, everyone has the right to be upset because this pandemic has affected everybody in different ways. But anyway, my advice, I don't know, like, it's so difficult because having the summer term online last year was so awful in a way, because it was my term. Like, I really struggled in my first year of university, and my second year I really was starting to come into my own, and the summer term is obviously the best, like the weather's the best, like it's just the best term, it's just so much fun. But also the second term of the year is always the worst in terms of like the weather is just awful. Obviously at the moment, like, there's just a sense of, now it's been like a year, I think everyone is starting to get the feeling that they're losing like some of the best times of their life, which is such a valid feeling, like especially for people who were in second year when this all hit. Like they have lost like such a big chunk. Anyone's lost such a big chunk actually, like what am I on about? So my heart goes out to you. I fully appreciate that that is one of the worst situations ever. Go back and watch some of my videos from Online Trinity last year, because I definitely did like go through some tips and tricks. I would say try if you can. I'm so aware that not everybody is able to do this, and if you can, that's a real privilege, to separate your work and your leisure. At the moment I can't really do that because we have 3 downstairs rooms, all of which are being used by my stepdad, my mom and my little sister respectively, because they all have work and school. It would be a bit unfair of me to like demand one of those rooms. So at the moment I am kind of like working, eating, sleeping in my bedroom, and I know how bad that is for your mental health. So if you can, it's difficult as well because it's winter, so it's really hard to go outside and do things as well. I used to do that a lot, but I would really recommend trying to just, even if it's literally just a different part of your room, like just go and sit in a different part of your room on the different end of your bed. Like it's a really, really good way to separate the two. Don't beat yourself up too much. Don't try and like run a marathon, learn language. Like just get your term done and spend the evenings relaxing and doing things that you like watching Netflix or TV or something like that. And my third tip would be to go for walks. I know because the weather is so naff, it's so hard to motivate yourself, but I can tangibly see, I know we can't go to the gym either at the moment because I would recommend going to the gym. I can tangibly feel and see a difference in myself when I go for a walk. Like it just changes the day, and I think that's my #1 piece of advice, is to go for a walk. Yeah, so like, yeah, basically separate your work and your leisure if you can. Spend the evenings doing things you enjoy, and try not to burn out too much because you're in the middle of a crazy situation. You're literally living through history. And go for walks. I'm gonna be so late to this quiz because I just can't stop talking, but I love these videos. Okay, somebody says, what can you tell us about your experience with CBT as a form of therapy? I can indeed. So cognitive behavioural therapy is cognitive behavioural therapy. It's basically a way of training your thoughts, which is very useful if you're struggling mentally. You guys can go and watch like my video on the absolute shit show that was my first year of university. Like it was just a mess. It really was. I've really not been drinking enough of this and my battery's about to die, so this is just really not going the way that I planned. But I'm going to keep filming till it dies and hopefully it's not like dead. Anyway, basically I would really recommend it. Like I'm going to do a short answer for this one because I don't think there's much for me to say because obviously it's quite personal. If you're offered it, or if it's available to you and you're struggling, take it. You'll find for the first 3 weeks that it's just not doing anything for you, and then suddenly it will just click in your head and it will just be like, honestly, it did wonders for me, and I still struggle obviously mentally. I would honestly go back and do a refresher course if I had the time at the moment. But like paired with mindfulness, meditation, all of these things, when you really put your mind to it, it can be such a game changer, like such a game changer. So please don't dismiss it too early. Like if you think it's not working one day, you'll go to one of your sessions and it suddenly will just click into place. The next one is favourite biscuits. My favourite biscuit is... What is my favourite biscuit? I really like ginger nuts. That's really controversial, but I do like a ginger nut biscuit. I'm not a sweet chocolate cake sort of person. I really like savoury foods, but I would say either a ginger nut or a custard cream. I do love a custard cream. Or those ones from the family circle with the jam in the middle. Oh my god, I could eat like 12 of those. Next one is how to cope with the feeling that no one will ever love you romantically. Absolutely cannot help you on that one because I feel that all the time. The next question is, will you be considering getting the COVID-19 vaccine? Yes, is my short answer to that. Yes. Obviously I'm not going to get into like anti-vax stuff in this video because oh my god, that is just a deep rabbit hole to fall down. I know people are concerned that it's come out really quickly and people are like, but it's come out so soon, like how do you know what's in it? Like honey, if you eat McDonald's, if you eat any takeaway foods, I really don't think you can be talking about the fact that you're worried about what goes into your body. honestly, these scientists, this is based on technology from like decades, you know, and the reason that it's been developed so quickly is because every single penny in the world has been poured into it because it's in the greater interest. And I just sometimes wish that that amount of money and effort could be put into like cancer research and stuff. So yeah, I will be taking it. I have an absolute chronic fear of needles. I hate them with every inch of my body. There are so many things that I need to go to the doctor, well, there's not really that many things. There are a few things I need to go to the doctor for that require blood tests, and so I've just suffered with them rather than going to the doctor. That's the sort of level of scared I am. But even I will be taking the needle because damn, like why wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? Actually no, that's not an open question for anti-vax stuff in the comments, thank you. Oh my god, I think that's probably opened a bit of a hole. The next one, oh, this is the last one actually. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? That's a good question. I've been thinking about this a lot recently because I would really like to get into manifestation. If anyone has got any good videos or tips on manifestation, please let me know, because I just feel like it's very alien to me as a person. And so I try it and I just can't get into it, but I really do want to. Where do I see myself in 5 years? I'll be 26 nearly. I see myself, this is me manifesting as well, I see myself living probably up north in a media job that I really enjoy. I would love to be in radio, but I feel like that could be something I did later down the line. So maybe as like a foreign correspondent, American political correspondent, like some sort of correspondent. I would love to be doing that. I would love to be in a healthy relationship, in a really nice... I'm not sure if I want to be in an apartment or in a house in 5 years' time. Either still renting an apartment. No, honestly, I would like to be at that point, like looking at getting on the property ladder, if not before, with or without a relationship. I would, yeah, just like to be happy in my career, happy in my relationship, maybe thinking about marriage, like towards the end of my 20s, not thinking about children just yet, and just happy, healthy. I'd like to be more confident in my own style, in my own abilities. And yeah, I think that's it. Like, I think I ideally see myself somewhere up north, maybe Scotland, maybe like just Manchester sort of vibes, I don't know. But that's kind of how I see myself. Just happy, hopefully in some sort of happy relationship, or at least having experienced a happy relationship, and just thriving in my job and enjoying what I do, I think, ultimately. So that is the end of this video. There were so many other questions that I would love to have answered, but I really do have to go because this quiz is literally in 5 minutes and I still am not dressed. But if you did enjoy this video and you would like more of them while I'm still at home, then please do let me know by giving this video a thumbs up and commenting down below. If you haven't subscribed already, it would mean the world, and click the bell so you don't miss any of my many uploads this month, because I'm really on a roll this month with the uploads. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye guys. Mwah.